With the Amazon Prime Day sales right around the corner, I thought I'd quickly put a list together of headphones in the sub 5,500 rupee category in case you are planning on picking up something. So anyway, jumping into the first product, the first one I do have with me, so I'll quickly show you. This is the Noise Airwave Max. This is a very affordable set of headphones, and by very affordable I mean it's around sub 2K. Now Noise is a brand that is made in India. They've actually been doing a very interesting job. And if you've been paying attention to the audio world, you'll know that Bose has collaborated with the folk at Noise to turn out some more premium products. So they do have headphones that are significantly more expensive with Bose tuning, as well as TWS earphones as well. And I suspect that Bose has willingly collaborated with them because this is the one Indian brand I found that has been pretty consistent with focusing on audio quality than other brands out there. So this is why I've included this in this list. I do like how this sounds. For the price, it's pretty amazing how good this sounds. It looks pretty premium. It's got a good overall build to it. I mean, only when you look at it on close inspection will you tell that, okay, this is where they have cut some corners. You can tell that difference. But all in all, this is a very comfortable set of headphones to wear. The padding is also very soft. The head cushion is soft. And of course, you do get everything you need. All the little control buttons, the volume up, down, play, pause, USB-C charging, and the works. Now, this does come with Bluetooth version 5.4, so it's not the latest, but it'll get the job done and it'll be pretty stable. This also does have low latency support of up to 40 milliseconds in response time, which is great. If you do want to go faster than that, you just plug in the provided auxiliary cable, because that a cable does about 7 to 10 milliseconds. So if you are into gaming, this will help you. And then it does support dual device connectivity, which is great. And it does have a 40 dynamic driver. Sound wise, it's nice that a brand that's making something that looks this cool, they've not gone crazy with loudness and with bass enthusiasm, and usually that's where a lot of headphones or earphones tend to start dropping in overall clarity, because they lean more towards distortion. There's no clarity, there's no resolution. This, on the other hand, does do that. It's definitely not the best sounding set of headphones I've heard, but honestly, for the price that it's going for, I think it's pretty clean. It's got the adequate amount of bass. It's not overly done. It's better controlled, and it's kind of unbelievable that you can get something like this at this price. So if you do want to buy this does have an MRP of about 5,999, but at the time of recording this video, it does have a selling price of 1,999. So you might just get a better deal for this during the Prime Day sales. Keep an eye on the discounts. And another reason why I am recommending this, a friend of mine did buy the newer version of this that's fairly recently launched. This is the Max 4. The Max 5 was also launched maybe a few months ago, and he's been using it for his gym work and workouts and everything, and he's found it to be quite enjoyable. Nice sound, very good build, and also I think these are the only headphones I've seen that have IP ratings, so there is some form of sweat resistance. Anyway, moving on to the next product. This is a product I sadly don't have, but I have heard it at a showroom when I did visit maybe last year. This is the Sony WH-CH520, named in typical Japanese style. This is an on-ear set of headphones. Now, this is definitely comfortable if you're used to the on-ear style of headphones. There are some brands that are still doing this. In fact, there's another set of headphones I will be talking about that are on-ear. But this is definitely very comfortable. It's very light for a set of headphones, in part because it's on-ear, so it is much smaller. But Sony build quality, it's pretty tough. It's built to last, in other words. Comfort-wise, the padding also is pretty soft. If you are used to on-ear, it's fine. If you're not, maybe look at an over-ear. But this helps with portability. If you want a set of headphones that you want to travel with, it's easy to put it on your neck without hitting your jaw when you fold it in or whatever. Or if you want to keep it in your bag, this makes a lot more sense. Feature-wise, this has got up to a 50-hour battery. It does support multi-point connectivity. It has voice assistant, and you can play around with the EQ settings. Now, this does surprisingly come with DSEE upscaling. And now, this is something that I originally first experienced with the Sony WH-1000XM4. It's basically an upscaler. So if you are feeding it with low-res audio, the DSEE upscaler actually does a pretty good job, a noticeable job. There is a difference for when it bumps up the overall resolution. It does, it does surprisingly get it done right. There are some brands or softwares that try to do this, but it just ends up sounding distorted. This tends to smoothen things out very well. But yeah, overall on a sound front, if you've heard Sony stuff, I think you'll definitely like it. Sony's got their own sort of overall performance that they stick to. This does come with 30 dynamic drivers, of course, because it is smaller. It does have a frequency response of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, like most headphones do. And if you like that Sony punchy bass, it has it. And these also maintain a good amount of detail and clarity. Now, the thing is, Sony also doesn't go completely over the top with bass response. They do maintain a tightness and good definition in the low frequencies. I think it's more of the mass market manufacturers that just try to impress a lot of people with too much bass until you realize that it's too much and it gets fatiguing. A brand like Sony knows exactly what they're doing. So sound-wise, you'll be perfectly fine with this. So if you are looking to buy this, this does have an MRP of 5,990, but at the time of recording this video, it's going for about 3,972. So if you happen to see this at a better price during the Amazon sales, I'd say snatch it up. It is definitely very good value for money, and it's a Sony at the end of the day. And moving on to the next product. This is a product that I have spent time with in the past, but I don't have it with me. This is the Soundcore by Anker H30i. If I'm being very transparent with you, I've noticed that Soundcore, whether you're looking at a product that sits at about 2,000 rupees or even maybe 15, 20,000 rupees, they are somehow really obsessed with giving you very good build quality no matter how much you spend on it. And at the same time, they also focus on giving you very good audio quality. They have been consistent across their range in terms of giving you app support, so you can play around with different EQs. You do get other controls in the app as well. It depends on the model of headphones or earphones you buy. And overall comfort, I'd say they've always stuck to. So even these are on-ear sets. It's an on-ear set of headphones. It's very comfortable on the ear. The ear cushion is extremely soft and very comfortable to wear over prolonged periods of time as well. And despite being a smaller sort of cup, being an on-ear, this does still come with a 40mm dynamic driver. It's not a smaller driver. You get a solid 70 hours of playback time with this, and you do get fast charge. A 5-minute fast charge will give you a solid 4 hours of listening time, which is a very good number. These also being an on-ear style are very light, so these will be comfortable to wear for prolonged periods of time. This does support Bluetooth version 5.3, not the latest, but it is a very stable version of Bluetooth. You won't have any cuts or sort of jittering with this set of headphones. At least I never experienced any of that. It does have multi-point connectivity, and it does have Soundcore app support, so you can go into the app and play around with different settings, different presets, and all that sort of stuff, which is quite cool. Sound-wise, like I did mention, Soundcore has been doing a fantastic job with their tuning. This, I think, is a very good step in the right direction if you want to start getting into the audiophile hobby, because this is composed and controlled where it needs to be, in the sense it's not overly done in terms of loudness and in terms of lower frequencies. There's a lot of brands out there who just crank up the high frequencies too much, so on first impression they sound good, so people buy them. But over time, those start sounding fatiguing. This is not that set of headphones. This is going to be soft and supple in the highs while giving you good resolution. And the lower frequencies are also well defined. And it is an enthusiastic bass response, but at no point does it get overly obnoxious. So because of that, it's balanced pretty well. So your detail in the mid frequencies and high frequencies remains pretty tight and very enjoyable. So I've always liked these headphones. In fact, I would highly recommend these. So if you do want to buy these do have an MRP, I think, of about over 4,000 or something like that. But it is going for about 3,999. So by any chance, if you do see it available for a better price than that, I'd say snatch it up. But even at this price, it's super value for money. And anyway, moving on to the last and final product. This is the JBL Tune 770NC. This is a set of headphones that I have reviewed in depth, in detail. You can watch that review. I will leave it down below. This is the JBL Tune 770NC, and this is also going for a pretty good deal. Massive discount right now, and I think it'll be even more when the sale is live. So this is very nicely made. It's a matte finish all round. It does have some glossy accents here and there. It does have pretty nice tactile controls that are nice and clicky. And this is extremely comfortable. I found this to be quite comfortable. As you can see, it's got that slow bounce back because it's some sort of a memory foam for the ear cup, so it's quite comfortable. And I have worn this for prolonged periods of time without any discomfort, of course. And there's this small sort of soft cushion headband up top there as well. Feature wise, well, this does support up to a 70-hour battery life, which is, I think, quite sensational. It does have active noise cancelling. Adaptive noise cancelling is what JBL calls it, because it does vary. It assesses the situation it's in and gives you better or slightly less ANC. And then solid 70-hour battery, which is great. It does have fast charge, multi-point connectivity. It does support Bluetooth version 5.3 as well. Now, when it comes to the app, I'd always recommend, if you have any JBL product, I would strongly recommend picking up or should I say downloading the JBL headphones app, because it's through that app you can get to genuinely customize these headphones and really make them yours. Download the JBL app, do the software update if you have to, but figure out all the settings over there, because there's a lot of customization you can do. If you get these headphones and don't have the app, you're losing out on a lot of customization. But yeah, then moving on to the sound of these. Well, sound-wise, I must say I've even compared these to the JBL Live 770 NC, which is considerably more expensive, and I found myself preferring this. I'll leave that comparison down below. But there's a subtlety and a beauty in the way this has been tuned. It's very different to that of the Live. This has a more relaxed way of giving you its overall music reproduction. It's definitely very sort of confident in its delivery, but at the same time, it's slightly sharper, better defined, because it's not as emphatic in the bass like the Live series of the 770 NC is. This, I wouldn't say, is the biggest sounding set of headphones in the bass department, but at the same time, this is able to give you a nice tight punchy bass. And I'm talking about the tuning in the flat setting. Now you can, if you do want more bass, you can go into the JBL headphones app, go into the equalizer and play with the different presets or the manual EQ settings as well if you want to introduce more bass. But I really do like how it's tuned straight out of the box. It's definitely a very, it's got good resolution, it's got good detail. And overall musicality wise, I really do like how they've tuned this. In fact, if I had to choose between any of these that I've recommended today, it will be between the H30i for portability, but overall sound wise, I'd go for the JBL. So if you do want to buy these do have an MRP of 9,999, but they do have a selling price as of recording this video of 5,023 rupees. If for whatever reason you do get a better deal for this, or even if it's the same, I would strongly recommend these. JBL has done a fantastic job with these, comfort-wise, build-wise, feature-wise. It's really, I think, one of the better high value products in this video. So anyway, I do hope that this video has given you a better understanding for some of these headphones to buy during the Amazon Prime Day sales. And of course, if you would like to help support the channel, I'm sure you know exactly how to. But of course, thank you for tuning in for some sound advice.